Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us today for our session on one-click demo, our story of empowering anyone, anywhere, anytime to create hands-on demos in just one click with Julian Lywood-Mulcock. My name is Jed Devine. I'm an enterprise account executive here at Consensus, and I will be your moderator for today. A couple of housekeeping things before we get started. DEMOFEST is presented by Consensus. Consensus is intelligent demo automation software that helps scale pre-sales with interactive video demos. You can learn more at goconsensus.com or view the automated micro demo at the link in the Docs tab on the right of your screen. Consensus is proud to provide this event free for all attendees. However, we'd like to invite each of you to donate to our company's humanitarian organizations if you'd like to. You can learn more about this and donate by visiting the DEMOFEST Gives Back booth in our virtual expo hall in the Booths tab, or at the link in the Docs tab on the right of your screen. We invite you to join us in our DEMOFEST community on Discord. Our community is where you can connect with speakers, get exclusive access to content and events, and where the conversation will continue long after the DEMOFEST event has ended. We encourage all attendees to join us and so many others. You can join the community at the link in the Docs tab. We encourage everyone to participate in today's session. On the right of your console, you can see a few ways to engage with us throughout the session. The chat function will allow you to engage with us as well as other attendees. Our speaker will also be taking some questions from the audience at the end of the session. Feel free to put your question there at any point in the Q&A box. And if you're having any technical difficulties, head to the gear on the bottom of your screen. There you will see the Help Docs section and troubleshoot common issues. So we're excited to be here today with Julian. Julian currently serves as the Global Head of Presales Technologies at Okta. And Julian, I'll go ahead and turn the rest of the time over to you. Thanks so much for being here. Really excited about this.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to do the arbitrary share screen. Is that coming through okay? Let me just go full screen and make sure it's coming through okay. Is that okay, Jed? Cool. Okay. So yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you for having me come and join you today on DEMOFEST. My name is Julian, as Jed has just introduced, and I look after all of our pre-sales technologies here at Okta. And I'm really, really delighted to introduce all of you today to our one-click demo, which is our story of empowering anyone, anywhere, anytime to create hands-on demos in just one click. And so with that, I'm going to give a brief overview of how we're going to structure today. We're going to begin with the what. So what is the one-click demo? And some stats and some figures around where we are with it, and also some of the more, a little bit of an overview of the actual technology that powers the solution. Then we're going to dive into why we built the one-click demo and the solutions that live behind that. And then I'm going to really put the main focus on the how. So we're going to spend 25 minutes kind of talking to the approaches, the methodologies, the principles behind the one-click demo, the solutions that we build, and the ethos behind much of what we do here at Okta. And then I'm hoping that we're going to have a good amount of time for some Q&A. So please do ask questions, as Jed said in the chat. Looking forward to seeing if there's anything interesting that comes in with regards to the Q&A. Okay, so without further ado, what is the one-click demo? So really what the one-click demo is all about is enabling anyone, anywhere, anytime to be able to demo all of the value that Okta can provide to our customers. And the real headline here is that it's about hands-on demo experiences, things that we can act on the fly when a customer asks us, hey, I want to see that big vision style demo. No problem. In seconds, I can provide that customer with everything they need to see. Or maybe it's something a little bit more technical. Maybe we're talking to a developer and they want to see something that we start to get into the weeds and start to show them some code. That's the same. We want to be able to provide an environment where in seconds, I as a more technical resource can go in and start diving into all the things that I need to show that developer, hey, I can talk just like you. Let me show you exactly what we can do with the solutions that we provide here at Okta. And then finally, kind of wrapping it up, this is something we want everybody to have the ability to utilize, not just technical and non-technical, but it's something we want our internal employees to use. It's something that obviously with a big company like Okta, we have many partners. It's something we want our partners to really relish and, champion within their partner organizations. And it's also something that we're immensely proud that our customers have access to as well, so that they can utilize our demo solutions to really understand and really get an understanding of what it means to have Okta within their organization. So that kind of summarizes what the one-click demo is. But really what it is a feature on something much bigger. And the true hero of everything that we're going to talk to you today is Demo Okta. And Demo Okta is an entire demo platform which features everything you see here today and much, much more. There are demo applications that are built and managed by my team within the demo engineering team. There are things built by the community in the field, which we're going to talk a lot about. There are demo instances of the actual products and the things that we sell within Okta. There are APIs and specifications. We're going to spend a good amount of time talking to the approaches and why we did all of that, or did all of the API side of things. There are reporting tools so that we can understand what people are using, when they're using it, how it's impacting revenue, how it's impacting our ability to reduce the amount of time it takes to build demos and help our SEs and relevant teams spending more time with our customers. There is a status page. We've got an entire portal. We've got a learning environment. All of this lives in Demo Okta, and that's everything that we're going to talk about today. And as I say, this is the real hero behind the one-click demo. And just to kind of put some numbers around it and reflect on Demo Okta being more than just a hobby project, is something that we really have invested in here at Okta. There are millions of dollars that are supported by Demo Okta every month. We have millions of customer-facing demo interactions every month too. So that means, our teams or our partners or our customers actually engaging with the platform and seeing what does a multi-factor authentication sign-in look like? What is it like if it's an adaptive multi-factor authentication sign-in? What does it mean if I change a particular layout or something, whatever it might be? There's millions of customer-facing demo interactions going on every month. And then, the thing that I think I'm most pleased about, and we are continuing to see growth in, is the number of unique users that we see every month too. So as it stands, we have around 2,000 unique users, which sits across around 50% of that being internal users within Okta, and then the other 50% being a blend of partners and customers. And what we're really driving at over this year is to hopefully increase significantly the volume of customers that can come in and then themselves get hands-on with all the solutions that you see within Demo Okta. So there you have it. One-click demo lives on Demo Okta, and there we've just shared some of the successes that we've had around the solutions that we've built. So some of you might be thinking, well, why do I actually need something like a Demo Okta? I can see the success that you've had, but it might be something that actually connects with your business. So what we're going to do here is just going to talk about why it made sense for Okta to have a solution such as Demo Okta within the capabilities that we provide our Oktanauts, our customers, and our partners. And really the main headline here is that demos are, for all intents and purposes, a box-ticking exercise. We're not really too concerned about, I did a demo. What we want to really be thinking about is the outcome of a demo. And when you kind of strip away the layers of the onion and you kind of think about, okay, what is it that I'm trying to get from a demo experience? It's being able to ensure that our customers get that eureka moment. And so I think many of the folks that are joining us today, you are very likely, you either kind of sell a SaaS or you're in the kind of technology space, and your solution has many different ways that you can talk to that solution. You've got the code, the actual running of the code, you've got functions, you've got platform capabilities and features, which is what your customers most likely work with on their day-to-day. And then you've got the value of the solution as well. And there are so many different ways that you could cut and talk to all of that. And your customers need to understand that in as quick as possible so that they get that eureka moment. How quickly, and this, in essence, this is what my team is all about. How quickly can we get our customers to understand our solution and get to that point of, I get it. Now I understand. Now I'm closer to buying. Now I have more propensity to buy. How can we really accelerate getting from all of the good stuff that's in your solution, the value it provides, the features, everything that lives within there, all the way through to, I get it. Right. I'm ready to make an informed buying decision, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed and make the right choice with Okta. So that's really what we're all about, is Less demo, more about creating a eureka moment and the outcome of the demo. And so with that, and I think this is a really important point, and something that we have to consider with the kind of solution that we deliver at Okta. We have a very broad spectrum of individuals that we need to talk to and that we need to sell to. We talk to marketing, we talk to security, we talk to sales, we talk to many different audiences within our customers, because identity is now so integral to modern business. So when we think about the demo spectrum, we have the executives, the directors, and the buyers, and they want to understand the why. They want to understand the vision. Okay, how is this going to provide value? How is this going to improve, in a general sense, my security posture? How is this going to improve my ROI? Whatever it might be, they have very kind of broad stroke questions. And what we found is that most of the demos that we do around that kind of experience and those kind of buyers, they tend to not only be no code in the demo, but also the way in which you build that demo and create that demo also lends itself very well to being no code. Then we have other audiences. We have the product managers, we have the owners, we have the leads, and they want to understand the what. Like, so what is it that, how am I actually going to do this? Like, give me a little bit more context. And that's where we get into the Harbor Tour style demo. And again, just like with no code, those demos tend to lend themselves better to a low code kind of experience, as well as the end user delivering a demo. They tend to be low code too. And then we have on the right-hand side, the admins and the devs, and they really want to get into the weeds of the how. And that's where you have a much more technical demo, lending itself very well to that pro code kind of experience. And as I talked about at the beginning, talking to developers like a developer. You want to show them the code, you want to crack open the laptop, maybe show them some console or whatever it might be, and actually getting into the weeds. So the demo spectrum, and this is what we see day to day, we are speaking to so many different buyers, and we need to provide demo solutions and a demo platform that can cater for all of these different audiences. And obviously Jed being a big part of this and Consensus being a big part of this, Consensus really does help us in that vision no code space. So we get a really good, ability to be able to provide that kind of experience for our executives, our directors, and our buyers through those kind of vision demos, and leveraging Consensus is a big part of that. But what we also need is a much more interactive style demo. Being able to react on the fly or be proactive, as well with, hey, customer wants to understand X, Y, Z. I need something that gives me the ability to configure my demo in such a way that I can really demonstrate the value of what we provide within Okta. And so to bring it home into what we did with the one-click demo, we found that the highest volume of demos that we were delivering were really in between that sweet spot between no and low code. So this is one of the big reasons that drove us to and motivated us to deliver the one-click demo, so that SDRs, AEs, as well as our more technical resources could go in and actually deliver demos themselves in a very quick and efficient way, and having the option to get hands-on and have that level of interactivity that our customers really expect. So you might also be thinking, okay, I don't necessarily need to talk to all of those audiences. Okay, that's absolutely, I totally get that. There's only one specific type of audience that you tend to talk to, but for us, as I say, we need to talk to all of those audiences. And what we were finding, as well as being able to talk to all of these audiences, was that it was taking around 2 days per demo per opportunity for us to do something compelling that was going to really answer the customer's questions based on the discoveries and the understanding that we had of the pain points within the customer. It was taking us time, essentially, to deliver demos per opportunity. And so through Demo Okta and this new kind of vision of we need to automate these things, we wanted to get to a point where it was seconds per demo per opportunity. So I could click a button, hence one click, and I could get to that point where instead of it taking me 2 days to do all of this heavy lifting and connect everything together and make it all happen, it took me seconds. And really the goal of that and the objective here is to spend more time with customers and less time setting up demos, so that we are always connecting with our customers, providing them the best experience possible and providing them with that eureka moment as quickly as we can. And so to add a bit more flesh onto that as to, okay, so why was it taking 2 demos per opportunity? Just to give you some more context, and hopefully this is something that maybe connects with some of the challenges that you might be facing and some of the questions that you're looking at around, is a demo platform the right thing for us? Is that Okta operates in a very complex problem space. We have a very competitive landscape. We've got a broad audience. we have an extensive solution. And so we have to really think about so many different ways that we could cut a demo to really attack that problem space. Also, sales journey gaps. Every business, I think, recognizes that technical wins can sometimes be a struggle, and sales need more and more support from pre-sales to really lift those technical wins. So having a solution that enables us to quickly and efficiently, replicate demos and be able to provide that experience to a customer is only going to help support that. And in addition, we want to be able to provide demo experiences that really connect with what the customer can expect when they go live. And that's something that is really, really quite unique about what we're able to provide, is that the experience that we provide is quite literally, for all intents and purposes, everything you would expect with an actual customer implementation of Okta. So we're actually able to make it look and feel exactly like the customer can expect when they go live. And then the other really important piece, and I kind of touched on this with the extensive solution, is that we have a very extensible product. There are so many different ways that you can build and configure Okta that really the headline here is that no one size fits all. We really are, I think there's been very, very rare instances where we can truly say, well, this is just like that implementation. And so with that, that means that our demos and the way that we have to create those demos and configure those demos, we have to be, we have to have that flexibility in there. So all of that combined, it really helped us justify why we needed to build a demo platform. But how do we solve that problem? Okay, so let's say you've identified and you kind of seen what we just talked to there, and you're thinking, you know what, this feels like the right thing for us. We're seeing similar challenges in our organization. How do I actually solve that problem of building a demo platform? And that's what we're going to dive into now. So the main headline, and this is something that I think I would encourage anybody to think if you're going to go ahead and build a solution like we have with Demo Okta, is to really think like a SaaS. Your demo platform is a SaaS. And you have to ensure that with that SaaS, you are solving a critical business problem. And demo platform for us really does help solve a critical business problem. And in its broadest sense, so here at Okta, customers aren't identity experts. That's why they come to us. That's why they are utilizing and leveraging all of the goodness that we provide in Okta to help them improve their security posture, improve the way in which they're able to understand their customers, all of the great things that identity can bring a business. And then we have to really think about, okay, so with a demo platform, what is that thing that helps solve that critical business problem? And it's that, what we talked about earlier, it's helping with bringing about that eureka moment. And that's where demo engineering and Demo Okta can really impact that critical business problem. But let's take a look at that and start to dissect it again, thinking like a SaaS. We need to think about, okay, if I solve that problem, if I can help with that eureka moment, is it going to impact revenue? How can solving this problem improve our ability to generate revenue? And then, of course, is the investment in building a demo platform and investing in a demo engineering team, is that something you're willing to invest in? And is that ROI there? And again, for us, we concluded that, yeah, there is certainly something that we can do around that. And I think the way that we framed it around some of the challenges we found within our business really helped frame, yes, absolutely, we needed to tackle this problem head on by having a solution like Demo Okta that was going to help us automate and reduce the amount of time that we were spending building demos. And then you need to think about more from a technical point of view, thinking like a SaaS of, okay, the best SaaS platforms out there are easy to use. They're things that anyone can access anywhere, anytime. You can just get in, whether you're a product manager, whether you're a developer, you can just roll your sleeves up and start to see documentation. You can get hands-on very, very quickly, and it's easy to understand and easy to use. One of the biggest proponents and one of the things that has really helped us be successful is interoperability as well. Not thinking in isolation and thinking of ourselves as an application, but thinking of ourselves like a SaaS so that we could connect with many different parts of the business. And we'll talk about that shortly. And then finally, reliability. When we think about the fact that a demo platform pretty much lives and breathes within a sales environment, we need something that folks can depend on when we're talking to customers that isn't going to interrupt a sale, that isn't going to interrupt a call. There's something that, I've got a demo, we're bringing Demo Okta along, excellent, we've got you covered. That's the kind of feedback and approach that we want when it comes to people utilizing the tools that we build. And I think here's a bit of a reality check. and something I think I need to make very clear is that to get to where we've got to with Demo Okta and the one-click demo and some of the screenshot you see on the right-hand side there, and the ability to basically have that entire environment provided to me in seconds, you have to start with pro code. So coming back to that previous slide, when we think about revenue against cost, you need to invest in making something like this. This isn't something you can do as a pet project. And that's, of course, I would say that because that's the experience that we've had. But this is something you do really need to invest in. And the simple reason being that to get to that no-code state where you're able to say, okay, I can do one click and it gives me everything that I need, you have to start with pro code. You have to start with having folks who understand sales, they understand pre-sales, and they understand how to engineer. And if you get that right, and if you figure out the right folks and the right resources to make that happen, you can get to that no-code place like we are today. So yeah, as I say, reality check, you do need to invest in this, and this is something that you have to start with pro code. So you might all be thinking, so Julian, you're telling me that we need to hire an engineering team? Like, really? So it's a kind of, and we're going to talk this through right now as to how we've done it at Okta and how we've been successful with delivering everything that we've talked to you so far by, some of the principles and ethos behind what we do here at Okta within our pre-sales technologies team and then within demo engineering. So the first most important thing that I can really express here is that you need to understand your customers first. Okay. If I put it another way, the demo engineering team are there to understand and facilitate the needs of our customers. So if you put your customers first, and that is folks in pre-sales, sales, marketing, customer success, product enablement, many other folks across your respective businesses, of course, your partners, your customers themselves, they are the folks that really need to drive what it is that you do. And what I have seen, and this is based on previous experience, is other teams who haven't necessarily done that have kind of maybe been a little bit black box, like, well, we're the experts, we think it should be done this way. And what I've seen as be much more successful is actually going, we're just sponges. Tell us what you want, tell us what you need, and we will cater for you. Because ultimately, we need this solution to help our sales teams go and be effective. So understand your customers, and that will really help with your requirements and your needs. And with that, and as part of the discovery process of when we started the demo engineering team, the one thing that really, really did strike us, and the one thing that we live and breathe by as we continue on this journey with Demo Okta, is to be flexible. I cannot stress enough how important being flexible is. Listen to your audiences. Make sure that you just don't think that everything you're doing is perfect, that you're taking on feedback, that you're listening to, maybe there was a particular issue that you heard about, dive in, embrace it, go and discover what the problem might have been. So being flexible is something that is so important, just from a business process point of view and understanding and kind of taking on feedback and from a people perspective. But also that needs to be reflected in the technology that you build. So what I'm about to share with you is probably, to be frank, the most important factor when it comes to the technology principle behind what we've delivered with Demo Okta. And it lines up explicitly with being flexible. And that is that you need to be API first. So being API first with what we've delivered with Demo Okta has meant that we have so much interoperability with so many solutions across the business. So be that our technology partners, be that Okta itself, be that our Salesforce and our ability to capture opportunity information, be that the applications and the actual solutions that we provide, and most importantly, be that the flexibility that we provide for our field to innovate. I cannot tell you, and we'll come on to it shortly, the ability for us to provide our field to have an API where they can build their own applications, they can build their own demos on top of all of the heavy lifting that we do, provides so much flexibility for us to be very, very adaptive and responsive to the needs of our customers. And what it means is that we can then scale those innovations and those things that our customers are doing across the business in rapid time. So the speed at which we are able to say, okay, XSE or X, whoever it might be, has spun up a particular demo, and it's something that we see is really ticking a box in terms of a customer need or customer pain point. We can bring that and make it available to the entire business in seconds, simply by going build it against the API, and we can flick it on and make it available for everybody. So going API first really does unlock interoperability. Interoperability, but going API first really does unlock flexibility. It really helps you scale, and it gives you so much speed with which you can then provide your business with everything they expect from a demo platform. And so with that API first approach, another bit of advice that I would give anybody who's watching this and looking at the demo platform and thinking, okay, API first sounds good. Something I would really recommend doing is writing your docs before you code. And this is something that we did. So what we identified, and thinking about where we just came from with talking to our customers and understanding our customers, we went through and we basically wrote the documentation before we wrote any code. And what it meant was that we could go to our customers and say, okay, if we build things in this way, and we are able to provide you with these types of applications and these types of APIs, what do you think? How would that help you? Yeah, how does that line up to your expectation of fulfilling those requirements? So it actually meant that we could, as I say, build the documentation before we coded. And then when we coded, it made it such an efficient and effective process that we were able to go live very, very quickly following the completion of the documentation. So anybody who's going to follow an API first approach, strongly recommend that you write your documentation, share that with folks across the business who are going to be utilizing your solutions, and then come into the point of then starting to write code. It will really reduce the amount of rework, heavy lifting, and it'll also help with when you come to UAT as well, because you can use those docs to then support your testing as you go in your preparation for going live. So docs before code, without question. And so to bring it home, this is the outcome of API first. Everything that we've talked to, everything that we're showing you right now is because we went with this API first approach. We understood that being flexible was so important for our business and our customers and our partners and folks in Okta. So we went API first, and it meant that we were able to provide everything you see here. Applications, the community being able to build their own applications too. Instances, API documentations, learning environments, portals, status reporting, all rolled up. Integrations with other business applications, which aren't captured here, but trust me, we're integrated with pretty much everything that you need to understand how the system is performing and how it's impacting revenue. And that all comes from being API first. And so let's talk about, just to touch on, I've talked about being flexible and how important that is. But the real nugget behind why flexibility is so important is, of course, just in the development of the solution itself. The things that my team manage, which is around 80%. So we manage everything underneath, the main core of the API, all of the infrastructure that lives underneath that. We manage all of that. But being flexible also means really thinking about how the field and the community, and I know I've touched on this already, can go ahead and build their own applications, go ahead and build their own things that are going to help their customers. We can't be expected to deliver every single thing that people need. And this gives folks the flexibility to go and be innovative themselves in their own rights. As an example, we've had folks in our EMEA region go ahead and build applications which can basically scrape down what a customer website looks like, so that they can essentially go back to a customer and say, this is what it's exactly going to look like if you implement Okta if you go ahead and implement Okta. And utilizing that tool, they were then able to share that with everybody across the business. And we've had a great response. So in essence, if you want to scale innovation, think about it as a point of your demo engineering team is accountable for 80%, and of course accountable for all of the under the hood heavy lifting. But that 20% should be the field and the community having the flexibility to use your APIs, to leverage all the things that you've built. Because ultimately, what it means is that you're going to be fast to a global market. The tools that you're able to provide, be it from the demo engineering team proper or be it from the field and community, you can make available to everybody in an instant. Truly flexible and truly adaptive. You can start, if there's patterns of trends that you're seeing in one region, you can immediately start to share that across region. So it really helps unlock the potential of the innovation within your business. So yeah, absolutely. Think about how using a demo platform and having a demo engineering team accountable for 80%, with the field and the community responsible for the other 20%, it will really help you scale innovation across your business. Okay, so you're probably all thinking, well, how long did this take? I hope you're thinking that. Well, okay, we kind of got to a point where we understand, good numbers. We can see API first, lots of things built. So what I'm going to share with you, and actually, I encourage you all to kind of, in your mind, how long did you think this took? Be honest with yourselves. How long did you think from going from, okay, we got this idea around, we want to build this thing called Demo Okta, through to going live? How long did you think it took? Because I'm going to share that with you right now. So the demo engineering team started in May of last year. So this time last year, we were a nascent team. We were brand new to the business. The first thing we realized was we needed to do an analysis. So we talked to many teams across the business, and we got an understanding of what existing solutions were, who was using what, who our customers were, who from product would we need to engage with, who from getting an understanding of all of those things. And then I was very fortunate in July of last year to go and actually meet with our executive team and get buy-in from them in a strategy that we built out based on the analysis. And the strategy is essentially what we've already shared with you. 80-20, split between demo engineering in the field, API first, thinking like a SaaS, ensuring that we're tracking on revenue and we're having reporting at all points. So with that support, we then started build. So actually doing the documentation like we started, like we referred to, drawing out the docs in August of last year. And 3 months later, so in 3 months, this is the actual answer between, okay, how long did it take? 3 months of build into Demo Okta going live in November 22 on the 7th. And that was at Okta, which is our biggest customer-facing event. We're doing it this year as well in October. At our biggest customer-facing event, we launched Demo Okta to thousands of people. And over the last, 6 months, 7 months, we've then grown and refined a solution. And in around April, in one sprint, we went, you know what? I think we need to do something around that high volume sale, which is the one-click demo. And in one sprint, we did some more reorchestration of some of the APIs and did a lot of testing. That was actually the main bulk of the sprint. And then we went live with the one-click demo in April 23. So, as of last year, May last year, the team had only just started. We didn't exist before. And then over that timeline, everything I've shared with you has happened. And here we are. And it really is a great privilege to share the story of everything that we've accomplished within demo engineering, Demo Okta, and Presales technologies here at Okta. And so to combine with that, the kind of journey and how long it took and what we did, I want to share with you what does the team look like and some insight into how we structure what we do. So demo engineering team proper is two amazing folks within Okta who both have pre-sales experience and also have experience of actual engineering and building things within a business. And we're really, really fortunate to have those two individuals as part of our business. And I'm truly grateful for everything that they do. And they are really the rock stars behind everything you see. All of the heavy lifting is done by two full-time employees. And as I say, truly grateful for everything that they do. And we work very closely, and we work very carefully to ensure that what we do and everything that we build is cost effective. So everything that you see here and that we've talked about, the platform costs are $10 a day, and that's we openly share that we're utilizing AWS, and all of the platform costs are $10 a day. And with all of this, 2 FTEs, $10 a day, the real kind of lift that we get is that we work as one team across the business. We are very aware, and as we talked at the very beginning of this section around the how, we're very aware that we've got lots of customers from all different parts of the business. And it's not just that we're customers of them. They also are. Sorry, I'm trying to get it the way around. They are customers of us too. So there are things that they need from us to ensure that they are also successful. So really, the collaboration across function and the collaboration across all of the teams is so important for us to be successful. So while we have 2 full-time employees and our platform costs are $10 a day, really what makes demo engineering and provides everything that we see today is the fact that we work cross-functionally and then we do things with so many different folks across the business every day. And it really does give me, I'm immensely privileged and honored to work with such an amazing team here at Okta. So I'm going to wrap up with kind of a point around the demo platform itself, but also a point on technology as well. In that I see this pattern quite a lot, and it's something that I've been very kind of almost on a crusade with what we've delivered with Demo Okta and the demo platform that we've built. And that is that just delivering a demo platform is not enough. So what I want to be is a little bit of a reality check again. You know, we've talked about why did we build a solution? Why was it something that really helped us here at Okta? We've talked about how we built it and all those kind of things. But really, just delivering it is not going to be enough, because ultimately you need to understand what's working, what isn't working. And really, you think about that, think like a SaaS, revenue versus cost. We need to always be understanding, how are we helping the business? How are we impacting that bottom line? How are we helping our sales team be more efficient? How are we making them ensure, how are we helping ensure that they get as much time with customers as possible? So just delivering the platform is not enough. So the reality check here is box ticked, great, but on to the next. You always need to be thinking, how can I improve the solution? How can we make sure that we're getting the right level of investment? How can we make sure that we're growing in the right way? And so what that really means is, probably many of you already guessed, is that we need to have very, very, very clear success metrics. And for our team, what we do is we think around revenue, customer-facing time, and our audience. So we think about, how is Demo Okta helping accelerate deal cycles? How is it increasing deal size? How many opportunities are being attached with Demo Okta? How are we impacting customer-facing time and folks not having to spin up demos that we talked about? You know, we wanted it to go from 2 days to seconds. We well and truly accomplished that. Folks are now able to spend far more time with customers. And from an audience point of view, I've already kind of hinted at where we're going, and we're thinking about, yes, we need to cater for our Octonauts, absolutely. We need to cater for our partners, but our customers, hey, let's make sure that our customers can self-serve their own demo. You know, what an amazing experience that would be if they can click a button and they can see what everything would look like for them within their own environments. Wow, wouldn't that be great? So success metrics are so important for ensuring you're always monitoring and measuring and able to improve the solutions that you're building, and also report back on the impact you're having on the business. And so what we have, and I know I mentioned this, I touched on this earlier around the APIs that we have and how this all kind of connects together, is we have a direct Salesforce integration, which helps us report on revenue and usage. And really what that helps us do, as well as just, you know, kind of revenue and usage, it helps us understand what regions are demos really connecting with, what type of segmentation, you know, all those kind of things kind of come into it. You know, how often are we demoing? How many demos are we doing per opportunity? Are we seeing a pattern of, you know, if we do a particular type of demo on a particular region, that's helping accelerate the deals? So all of that information is so important for us to then double down on what we then do with the iterations and the future of the demo solutions that we provide. And on the other side, you know, from a more granular point of view, we also use CloudWatch. So within CloudWatch, we can see just how much time is saved. You know, how long is it taking for us to spin up these demo environments? How long are people spending configuring the demo environments to the particular nuance of a customer? How is it performing? How many errors are we getting? You know, we talked about being reliable. That's where we can understand how many errors are happening out in the wild. And of course, it helps us understand the usage in a much more granular way. Which demos are being, which particular journeys are being talked to, which particular applications are out there. You know, we talked about the community, being able to report back to our community in the field, hey, you know those things that you built? This is how many people have used it. I mean, it's a great feeling when you can share with folks from across the business, hey, 1,000 people have used that demo that you built, and through Demo Okta, they were able to all access it in no time. It's a really great feeling. And so my final kind of my final comment on all of this, and then I'll give some takeaways, and hopefully there's some questions for a Q&A, is the importance of feedback. So I know I kind of begun this whole section on how with, you know, understand your customers, and that's not something you just do at the beginning and then you kind of leave it. You need to continually, proactively seek feedback. Go and talk to your detractors. Go and understand, you know, there was an issue. Go and dive into it. Go and embrace it. Go and understand what you could have done better. Was it something that was in the system? Was it something that wasn't clear? Was it just end user error? Who knows? But proactively going out and seeking feedback is so important. And because of what we're saying here and what we do here at Okta, with all of the solutions that we provide underneath, with the reporting, etc., you need to balance that with what the data is telling you. You know, there are always going to be opinions and he who shouts the loudest type personas. But ultimately, by proactively seeking feedback and understanding what people think and how it's being regarded by folks out in the field, i.e. the qualitative feedback, and balancing that against the quantitative feedback that you have within the data, that puts you in a really, really good spot to ensure that you then go on to build and evolve the solution in a way that suits and benefits the business the most. All right, so 3 takeaways. First thing is, as we talked about, think like a SaaS and go API first. Make it easy to use, make it interoperable, make it reliable. Be flexible. We talked about that quite a bit. Helping scale innovation, helping anybody be able to use the system that you've built. Be flexible. Make it an absolute, like everything you do, we need to be flexible. We need to think about how we can be part of it, how we can bring people in. Not let's live in a silo and, it's kind of our little black box. You need to bring people in. And then finally, reporting is absolutely critical. Make sure you have very clearly defined success metrics and line it up to those. And you should be really, really good to be able to understand how the solutions that you're building are impacting the business. And of course, using that to inform the decisions that you make down the line as to what you then double down in terms of improvements and enhancements that you make within the platforms. All right, that is everything. And I don't even know how long that took. My voice is already getting a little bit coarse. But hopefully we do have some questions, and I'm going to hand it over back to Jed to understand. Do we have any questions, and is there anything that I can answer?
Yeah, thanks so much, Julian. Really fascinating. I thought it was really interesting. Just some of my key takeaways, right? One, it just shows the importance of a demo and how much we're really relying on demos to get our customers on board. And I love that idea of, hey, they're going to be in this solution when they purchase it. Let's give them that close to realistic environment beforehand so they can actually, have that feeling of that day-to-day. And of course, love the API first. For me, the question is, looking at how fast you did this, right? Like if I were to talk to you last May, what would have been your expectation for this project? Is it a 4-year? I mean, this seems really fast to have this kind of up and running. What was your expectation like to get going based on, where you ended up?
Genuinely, so I talked about the exec buy-in and going to the execs. I said this time, so basically now, would have been when we'd be going live with the first iteration, which would have been, if I recall correctly, it was access only to folks in Okta. And only, so the way that Okta works is it's different clouds. So in essence, it was only one cloud that was supported. So to get quite a little bit in the weeds, we were able to, as you can see, we were able to provide it to everybody. So it doesn't matter, partner, customer, or internal. And also all of the Okta clouds were supported. And, it's a great question, because I think the reasoning behind why we got there quicker for that, in particular, the cloud piece, was because people saw the value of what we were doing and saw that gap. We talked about, why did we build this solution? What was the gap that we were filling? So people recognize that. And also, we have an engineering team who we work very, very closely with. We kind of said, hey, look, this is what we're doing, and understand your customers. Hey, product and engineering, they want people to be using the platform, right? So the best way that we can actually help make that happen is being that kind of glue in between and helping them. I talked about our customers are sometimes weird, it's vice versa. So it helps them as well as us. So that's where we were going to be, was I think I referred to it as like phase 1, because phase 0 was just going live with a beta pilot type thing. And then phase 1 was going to be, as I say, this time now. And it would have been Okta only and just one of the clouds. But blink and you missed it. That's kind of where I am with it, right?
Yeah, I guess the executive buy-in really is key, right? To make something like that happen so quickly. That's great. It must have been a real kind of need prior to that. Let's see, there were a few questions here. One, and I think this maybe goes to not only like that executive buy-in, but also like how you built it, right? It seems like a really great relationship that you have with all these other kind of departments. One question from David here: how do you feel like the most kind of effective strategy to encourage that like cross-functioning collaboration between departments. Were there kind of keys to success with that?
I think, yes. One, having a very clear strategy behind what you were doing. So as long as you can clearly communicate, it's communication. Clearly communicate. This is why we're building a solution, and these are our goals and objectives, and this is when we want to hit them. So that means that you can have those very open and honest conversations around, okay, are we even going to be able to do this? Is this even going to, is this even achievable? Is this even possible? And having that open conversation. So I'd say that's a really important thing, communication. I'd also say not being shy. Going and approaching folks that you might, go and ping a VP, say, hey, look, we're working on this. What do you think? My experience has been, as yet, nobody turns around and goes, why are you bothering me? Be empowered. If there really is, I talk about that, think like a SaaS and the critical business problem. As long as you can frame the problem that you are solving, and obviously for us, there was clearly a problem that we were acknowledging and we're solving with what we're doing. Frame it around that. Say, here is the problem we are solving, and we need your support. That's another bit of advice I would give. Don't be empowered to really share that this is, for obviously I can't speak for other businesses, but for us, this was such a big problem. We needed to fix it. And by that, it just really helped unlock those doors to go, okay, who should I work with? Who on your team is going to be best placed to make sure that we can get what we need, and vice versa? Is there anything we can do for you?
Yeah, that's fascinating. The other part, right, in me personally as a sales rep, you spent the time building this, right? You've got this shiny new awesome kind of Corvette, Porsche, Aston Martin, Bentley, whatever you need to call. How do you get this kind of into the workflow of the reps, and what has kind of been the response from the reps that have been using it?
So how do you get this into the workflow of the reps? So I think the simplest way was we did an all hands. So we did the company all hands. So you had 6,000 people on the call, and when we launched the one-click demo, it was a bit of a career highlight. We're on a call with Todd McKinnon, our CEO, and I'm sat there and I'm going, hey, we're doing this thing called the one-click demo. 15 minutes I had, and I walked through, here's what it is, here's how to use it. And we had all the team involved. It was amazing. So to have that, kind of bringing it right in front and center within the business, and having folks afterwards kind of ping saying, can't believe this is, where you were, this time last year, and all this kind of thing. So that was a good thing, because it's word of mouth. Is kind of what I'm getting to, and also putting it front and center and not being shy with that. If you've got a great product and you've got a great solution, go share it. Don't be shy with it. So that's one tangent. The other tangent, as well, as I would say, work very closely with your enablement teams, because I say that's how we're structured, right? Enablement and having folks understand what it is that you're doing. We need to be in lockstep with enablement. So what we were very mindful of, and as I'm sure you understand, as a sales guy yourself, we actually rolled this out nearer the end of quarter. So we were actually that works quite well, because it's almost like a soft launch. Because what we didn't want was everybody suddenly coming on the system and then something going wrong. And as we talked about, reliability, dependability, so important. So it worked quite well. And what it's meant is that we've then worked in lockstep with our enablement team. And I'm really, I was even earlier today chatting to our enablement team. I'm so grateful for them driving. They're driving it. They're coming to us saying, hey, look, we want to make sure that this particular audience understand how best to use the system. And likewise, it's the same with consensus. How can we make sure that we're working with the relevant teams around the business to understand this is how this is going to benefit you. And then, and I'd also, and my final kind of tangent, as it were, on that is to be, I would say, just be realistic with things take time for adoption. If you're introducing anything new, you will get that spike, and then it's going to go like that, and then it'll start to go like that. Always. Every single thing we've ever done, if I look at the graphs for Demo Okta, it's spike, down, we do a new rollout, spike, down. It's just like that. Always, always, always. But the interesting thing is it's always the same. The user base grows, and we still have very sticky user base as well. So while it might not be people coming in so often, they're still coming in, just not so often. So we still have the same user base. People are still using it, but if they want to check out new stuff, right? They want to come and see, well, what's this all about? So yeah, that's how I'd say it. Be comms, don't be shy, engage, work with the enablement team, and also be realistic that things will spike, then they'll start to drift off, and then come back with a new thing, come back with a new thing.
That's great. Yeah, that's the big question, right? Adoption with any sales tool or for salespeople. And then the other question here, you mentioned like before, it'd be maybe like 2 days, prior to kind of spin up that demo or to kind of provide some sort of asset. Do you know, based on, any metrics that you have right now, any of the savings like already that you've realized, or was there a metric that you kind of started off being like, hey, let's try to really impact X with this entire project?
So the short answer is no. And the longer answer is because we didn't know what we didn't know. We knew that there was this problem. There was no question. But I think it's a little bit like there are so many factors in a sales cycle, and there are so many factors that come into it where what is that one metric? And it's still a challenge today. But don't get me wrong. While we talk about success metrics, revenue, customer facing time, audience, it's still very difficult for us to say, okay, and I get it. As a director myself, I get it. I want that. What's the one thing I can say to everybody? Here's the thing that we're impacting. So there isn't a good answer for that. It's a no. What I can say is that what we do try and do as it stands is look at how many closed-won opportunities are using Demo Okta against how many closed-lost opportunities are using Demo Okta, and doing that delta. So basically closed-won, lost ratios between using Demo Okta and not using Demo Okta. That's one metric. And then one of the other things we also look at is just the volume of sales against the basically the average ARR of those sales. Mm-hmm. So, which is quite interesting actually, because we actually see quite a lot of might surprise you, but some of the more strategic SEs are utilizing our solution more than I would have expected. Because sometimes strategic SEs don't want to do demos. That's fine. But yeah, they're using it more than expected. So obviously that will always lift up the average ARR and all those kind of things. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. But in short, I don't think there is a magic metric. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that I guess it makes sense too. If you're getting all that buy-in from execs, like there's going to be a lot of metrics that they're going to want to see.
Yeah.
Impact. And looks like maybe one of the last questions here, or maybe the last question, and it's kind of the question I had too. What's coming up, right? What's in the pipe for you and for Demo Okta? What are you working on?
So the big one for us, and this is I have to be obviously quite careful about how I share this, is that we are looking at integrating with product. That's probably the best way I can put it. So that we are something that, as an Okta customer prospect, you can come and you can, as a part of your Okta experience, it becomes part of your Okta experience. And that's a really exciting. Let me put it this way. You asked about where we were going to be. Where did you expect to be? I was thinking that's like 3 years out, easy. So yeah, that is in motion right now, and it's incredibly exciting. Working with teams that I never thought we'd ever work with, and likewise, they probably thought they'd never end up working with a sales team because. To bring it, to really bring it home, we are in the sales organization. We deliver a platform. We're engineers, or the two folks on the team are engineers. We live and breathe sales. We are here to impact revenue. So it's quite interesting to see that play out. But yeah, there you go. That's one of the big things. Also, yes, one of the other things we're also working on is lab environments as well. So that's something that we see more and more, that folks want to come and meet with our teams, and they want to actually experience. Walk me through it. Don't just send me something. Actually, sit me down and walk me through it. And I'm sure you can imagine, with what we provide, it lends itself very well to. You don't need to do all the setting up. Click this button, and we'll walk you through it. So it really does lend itself. So it might be called one-click demo, but it actually has quite a lot of different use cases, right? Not just the sales guys, but also if you're going to do a lab. I just click this button, I get lots of things spun up, and then I can start playing around with all those things as well. So those are the two big ones, I think.
Yeah, that's huge. I guess the question is, will the rest of the organization be able to keep up with the speed that you're developing things, right?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because again, conversation I've been having quite a lot actually recently, which is, do we need to slow down? Genuinely, and that sounds like might sound like a funny thing to say, but yeah, to what extent, or rather, let me reframe it. What extent do we slow down?
Right.
So, Yeah.
Awesome. So if there's no more questions, we'll finish up here.
Great.
And I'll share the last couple of things. Thanks so much, Julian. Really appreciate this. This has been fascinating to listen to and just kind of hearing the story. We want to remind any of the questions to, or let's see, we're finishing up here. Sorry, reading the wrong slide. I want to remind everyone about DEMOFEST game, where with each session you attend, with each session that you give feedback on, you get points to win some of our awesome prizes. We are also very excited at bringing DEMOFEST on the road again with DEMOFEST X. We had an awesome time in San Francisco in March. Can't wait to bring the event to Dublin, London, New York City later this year. You can register to join us at these events at demofest.com, which is also in the link in the Docs tab at the right of your screen. We also encourage you to stop by our expo hall to visit our premier partners of DEMOFEST. Remember, there's no money transferred for this event, so all of our partners have gone above and beyond to contribute to make this event a success for you all. So thanks so much for joining the session, and thanks again, Julian, for this great time. Up next on the screen are the upcoming sessions, and you'll automatically be pushed to the next session in your track. You can switch tracks or sessions by toggling to the agenda tab at the top left of your screen. And thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Thanks.